And we like to be the same. We'd like to have everybody, the teachers would like to have everybody teach. The administrators would like to have everybody administrate. Those with the gifts of helps would like to have everybody have that eye for need, as those who have the gift of helps have. Exhorters would like everybody to be exhorters. The fact is that the body is more diverse than that. There is a story which one of our pastors gave me, which he used once, and I asked him for a copy. He says, once upon a time, long ago, all the animals decided to form a school. I'm sure it was probably homeschooling, but anyway. They established a well-rounded curriculum of swimming, running, climbing, and flying. Now, to make it easier to monitor the program, all the animals took all the courses. The duck was excellent at swimming. In fact, he was better than his instructor, but he only made passing grades in climbing and was very poor in running. In fact, he was so slow he had to stay after school to practice his running. Now, this caused his webbed feet to become so badly worn he became only average in swimming. But average was quite acceptable, so no one worried about it, except the duck. Now, the rabbit started out at the top of her class in running. But after a while, she developed this twitch in her leg from all of the time spent in the water trying to improve her swimming. At the end of the semester, she received a D+ in running. The squirrel was a peak performer when climbing, but experienced constant frustration when trying to fly. His body became so badly worn from all the landings that he could only get a C in climbing and a D in running. Now, the eagle was a problem student. He was severely disciplined for being a nonconformist. In climbing class, he would always beat everyone else to the top of the tree, but insisted rather in using his way to get there. So he got an incomplete. The eagle was a problem child. Well, you get the point. Each creature has been created with a specific area of expertise. We have been given spiritual gifts or areas in which we will excel. Unless, of course, we're spending all of our time doing things that God never created us to do. Let's help focus on what this text has to say by 3 concluding but very, very important statements. Number one, each person has a gift. Notice in verse 7, but to each one is given the manifestation of the Spirit. Now, he or she may have more than one gift, but one for sure. One for sure. That is your hard wiring. That doesn't mean that you can't do other gifts. You can't say, well, I can't clean up after we have a dinner at the church because I don't have the gift of helps. No, that's not the way it works. It doesn't mean that we can't function in other areas. You can't say to yourself, well, I can't endure this trial because I don't have the gift of faith. No, you find that the gifts overlap. You find that there is growth in gifts. There is such a thing as exercising those gifts that aren't really your best form of ministry. But everyone has one kind of a gift where they excel and where they are fulfilled, and if properly trained, they can serve effectively. To each one is given the gift of the Spirit. I feel sorry for people who don't know what their gifts are. People who have never unwrapped their gift. They have never taken the time to figure out who they really are and which of the gifts suits them the best. And next week we're going to give you the opportunity to find some help in doing that. But I want you to notice that everyone has a gift. In all of the listings of gifts in the New Testament, whether in Romans or in Ephesians or in this passage, nowhere is there a distinction made between the gifts that men have and the gifts that women have. Well, this is Pastor Lutzer, and next time, of course, I know you'll be listening as I go on with that message and talk about the gifting of men and women. And yes, Women also have the very same gifts as men do. Now, I need to say, of course, that their roles may be different and their positions in the church may be different. But I want to encourage the women today who are listening. You have a very important part in the body of Jesus Christ. And you can exercise your gift and you can show your love, your compassion, your ability to teach, your ability to be involved in helps and mercies and even leadership in certain contexts. All of that, of course, needs to be worked out by every single church. But let us take this moment to celebrate the role of women, knowing that Jesus elevated their position, and within our churches, they should be given the prominence that they deserve. Well, God bless you, my friend, and I know you're going to want to listen next time.
Thank you, Dr. Lutzer. And on tomorrow's Running to Win, Dr. Lutzer will explain more about those sign gifts and the controversies that surround them even today. Erwin Lutzer has brought part 3 in his message, Unwrap Your Gift, the first message in his series, Finding Where You Fit. Running to Win comes to you from Chicago's Moody Church to help you find God's direction for your race of life. This series can help all of us make sure we're plugged in where God wants us to serve. All 4 messages can be yours on CD, cassette, or MP3. For full information, call toll-free at 1-800-215-5001. That's 1-800-215-5001. Ask about Finding Where You Fit when you call. Visit our website at runningtowin.org. Don't forget, this broadcast is supported by listeners like you. This is Dave McAllister. Join us tomorrow for our next Running to Win.